Alright, people. Good afternoon to you all. Welcome to our On the Waterfront and Crucible speed run. This is kind of like my last minute thing. Is I'm still going through your SAC feedback and had the choice: do I speed run the feedback, do I speed run right to the essay? And I've chosen the lesser of two evils. So we're going to try to speedrun this. And I want to do this for a couple of reasons. Firstly, this is kind of what I would do in class anyway. But secondly, I think some of you might want to see how I would approach this from the perspective of someone who's done this before. And especially how we manage time, and that was one of the feedback points from the survey, how we manage time, how we plan things out. And I think understand the process is very important. It's very easy for me to give you a full essay and just say, look at this, copy this. But the act of actually putting it together is quite important to understand. Now, having gone through looked at all your, I haven't marked all your essays, okay, feedback, but I've looked at all your essays. By the way, face reveal, yay, mustache. So the thing which I found was most people were probably like 2 or 3 paragraphs in. Maybe like 2 or 3 people actually finished the entire thing, but most people got to run halfway, which is a decent first attempt, but we definitely can push it a bit more. Now, in terms of word length, because you have a word counter, I think some people were a bit fixated how long it should be. And realistically, if you're handwriting this, I'd expect about 800 words, which is the length of a full essay. If you're typing it out, 800 is pretty easy to reach. The highest was like, I don't know, 1500. Sure as in, I'm watching you here. That's a long essay, but it's possible to match that I could write a novel, but you don't have to. But we'll see how much we can do in these 2 periods. Now, before I start this, I want to outline a few things which is quite important from the approach to a SAC, because we are working in very strange conditions. Of course, we are in remote learning, and things aren't exactly the same as what you have in a classroom. And I think the mental and physical preparation is super important because we are working at home. So our environment typically isn't the best for this sort of thing here. I mean, I'm not a big fan of doing the exam.net style live, write an essay in 2 periods flat, because it's really hard to do. Even for me, it's really hard to do. So I understand where it's kind of a little daunting, but there are things you definitely need to do to make sure you're in the best possible condition, because in the end, this is the SAC condition. Whether you're doing it in person or whether you're doing it remotely, you need to be primed for it. Like with sport, you want to make sure you're warmed up. You want to make sure that you're relaxed, that you are in the peak of your mental condition and physical condition. Otherwise, as you know, you underperform. You go through brain freezes. You can't put things together. Things become really slow and sluggish, and you can't do things. And you definitely don't want to be in a situation where you can't complete a SAC because you're exhausted or you're tired or you can't think. That is something that is entirely avoidable, and that's definitely something you want to set up. So prior to this, what did I do? What I would recommend you would do is basically make sure your notes are in order, make sure your workspace is properly organized, the right too many distractions around you, where possible. Make sure you have a good night's sleep. I mean, I'm actually really tired today. I didn't sleep much this morning. I look shit, right? Just to be honest here. So I'm a little sluggish, got a bit of a headache. Been staring at the screen all day, writing reports and marking things. So I'm a little stressed out. So I'm not in my peak condition. So I'm not sure how I'll perform. There's a bit of anxiety having to do this live to you guys. I normally flex this, but I'm actually a little nervous. I haven't revised much, so I'm not as confident. That's something which many of you will feel when doing this too. I mean, my not confident might be you're super confident. So it's a bit of a different gap here, but it's not really. I get what it feels like when you're not thinking like you've got this. But do make sure that where you can, if you've got a SAC coming out, you know this, you've got a test or a SAC, make sure you have rest beforehand, get plenty of sleep, make sure you're hydrated, you're not like high on coffee or Red Bull, because that destroyed me last night, man. That was not a good idea. And of course, make sure you don't stay up too late gaming. I'm not gonna name names here, because I ain't no cheese eater. But definitely try to balance things out so that you can focus on your studies and your work. That's a general note there. there. Now, the one thing I want to start, before I start the actual essay, is I want to roast some of your cheat sheets, because I don't have a cheat sheet. I'm super prepared. So what I want to I wanted to use some of your cheat sheets to help me out here. The problem is that your cheat sheets they're not bad. I don't say they suck, but some of your cheat sheets are lacking in some way. So I want to pick. I've grabbed Schwezins here. I've grabbed EBs as well, just to compare. What I wanted was quotes. Right? I know the event, I know the characters, I know the symbol. I just don't have quotes, so I'm lacking in that. So I like the quotes some of you used here. And I've got this list over here. This is a nice cheat. I like the organization, but I've got a problem with this. They're not bad, but I want to give some pro advice here. If I was to refine this to be better prepared for the real sack, this is what I would do. I love things like sentence starters, things like I love what Ibby's done here. Right? You've got a lot of like analytical words. This makes it look really like professional. So you can definitely include this. I love these high power phrases. These are good too. Sentence starters are really good. Kind of small ideas, big idea. I love the idea here. So this is definitely useful. What I'm struggling with when I'm using someone else's cheat sheet is how you organize quotes. Because remember, I'm feeling a little anxious right now because I'm not fully prepared. I haven't reread The Crucible or watched The Waterfront for a while, so I'm rusty. Alright, I'm what you might call a rusty player on League. I haven't made these texts for quite a while. This is kind of my pocket pick. But I feel a little anxious because I'm not sure how I can confidently recall things. And the problem I have with a cheat sheet like these, not that they're bad, but they're not particularly well organized. Now, you don't have to imagine this, because you're probably going through this yourself when you were doing the prac hack. You've got this cheat sheet, you've got it on a screen or a piece of paper or your phone, and you're reading through and you're going, oh my god, I need a quote. And you're just rereading this and this and this and this. And you can imagine, in fact, I'll put the face cam one, right? This is kind of like, I'm going to try and reenact. Hey, face cam, how's that? Professional. So I'm going to reenact what you probably did. I'm like, if I was probably Schwezin, this is probably what Schwezin was doing. Right? Tell me if I'm wrong here, but you're probably like typing it out, and you're going, oh my god. Oh, we burn a hot fire here. And some of you do this. No doubt, some of you just like cringe, just sort of rub your eyes. And that's probably why half of you wrote like one paragraph on the whole thing. It's just you're stuck. And this is a very important sign. I know I'm not typing the essay just yet, but this is important to come in prepared. A lot of you don't have many quotes. And some of you know things off by heart, that's fine. But many of you aren't using a lot of quotes, and that's actually a bit worrying. You got some quotes here too, but the organization is what is gonna hurt you the most. Now, understandably, in the practice sack, you had no idea what the themes would be, so you didn't refine your cheat sheets or summary sheets to be optimal. So you've got a lot of space you used up. Now you know what to refine it to, and I don't want anybody going into the real sack with the same cheat sheet. Because now you know what the themes are. Remember, it's different topics, but similar themes. Now you know what they are. You don't need to put irrelevant stuff on your cheat sheet. You can narrow down, identify what you were missing, and then put it on your cheat sheet. More importantly, organize it a little better. Try and color code it, try to add more subheadings, because when you're tired, you're stressed, you're on a time limit, you can't reread your cheat sheet over and over again. You want to make sure it's easy to find. So have like a section on fear quotes, have a section on corruption quotes, or redemption quotes, or morality quotes. Whatever topic you're doing, try to narrow it down so that you have quotes that suit particular themes. So that way, when I'm writing something, I can go, all right, fear, Johnny Friendly, here it is. Or morality, Proctor, here it is. I don't want to have a whole list of quotes which are random, because there's no order. And like some of these quotes are really good, but if I don't know where to find them under pressure, then you're putting yourself in a big disadvantage. And I've said this a lot in all my teaching, all my life lessons, is preparation saves lives. It's like when you organize like your camp kit, or you're organizing any kit, your sports kit. When you're under pressure, you do things instinctively. Alright, so you want to make sure everything's packed in a way we can immediately pull something out without really thinking about it. So you don't want to actively think about where something is, what key do I press. you want to make sure everything's lined up so that you can instantly go, okay, this is what I'm faced, this is the question I'm facing, this is what I'm going to use. So I might come back to these a bit later, but I don't find this to be quite useful. Again, not roasting you guys, they're not bad cheat sheets, but it's hard to use when you're under stress. And I want to really emphasize that I get the under stress. I want to make sure that when you do this, you have a clean pathway forward. Okay, so that's what I want to open up with, because I think while I can flex and write an essay off the top of my head, I don't want to come unprepared, and I have come unprepared, and I'm not confident, and it's what you might feel too. So this is not my best, but we'll see what we can do. So with that said, let's push forward a bit. Now I'm going to divert just a bit here because I want to lay out a few goals. I've chosen this question. Miller and Kazan explore how fear causes people to conform, discuss, because the majority of you chose this. I know, but I think a quarter of you chose the other one. Most of you chose this one, so I'll do this one. It seems to be the easy one, but as you know, what seems to be the case is always like a trick question somewhere. So I think a few of us missed a few opportunities. But before I begin, let's not do that. Before I begin, I want to outline some objectives. Alright, as of a lot of things, I want to set mini goals because these are my focal points for this practice. I want to make sure I do this in my particular essay right now. So firstly, I want to make sure I flex multiple examples. A lot of people were just using one example. I want to make sure I'm going to flex multiple examples, so that way I have the chance to show off multiple quotes, multiple characters, and do a complex comparison, not just one but complex. Number two, I want to let's see, I definitely want to use sophisticated comparative language, and elaborate on why, how. Now this is a weakness of certain lot of you. Okay, now when we do comparative, a lot of you would do this. You type something like actually I'll just stick with the camera on. You do this. You do like blah blah on the waterfront does this. Similarly, the Crucible does this. You do this. This is not comparative writing. This is not even comparison. You can't just say Terry does this on the waterfront. Similarly, Proctor does this. You need to tell me what the similarity is. This is actually one of the biggest weaknesses, which many of you don't realize you're doing. And when we're marking, we often miss this because it's so easy to use these joining words, these connecting words, because we teach you use comparing words, use these synonyms, use these sentence starters, and you do this, but you completely forget the fact that you need to explain what this is. By the way, are you editing? I think I've left on the edit. Doesn't matter. Just don't mess it up for me. But this is just something like I'll leave it on the classroom so you can download it yourself, make a copy later. But like this is the thing which I find funny because you just forget that if you say something is similar, you must explain why it's similar or how it's similar, what it means. You can't just say it's similar, therefore I've done comparative. So that's something you want to do. So I'm going to go here to use sophisticated comparative language, elaborate why and how. I might do one more thing, flex multiple examples, sophisticated comparative language, and I want to make sure that let's see, what's another goal I want to have? I want the multiple examples, flex sophisticated comparative language. I want to have one more submission, one more objective. I had it before. I completely forgot what it was. Doesn't matter too much. Let's just put something down. I'm gonna make sure that I use at least one construction device per paragraph. Okay, so that's my objective. So let's break this down. I need a plan. I've wasted like the first period already talking about what other stuff, but let's actually flex this and see what we can do to make this work for me. So I want to make sure I plan this out. So Miller and Kazan explore how fear causes people to conform and discuss. So I'm gonna shotgun three main ideas here. One, let's see. So let's talk about fear is the first part here. So what is fear? Mental deconstruction. We'll try and break this down. What is fear? How is fear shown? Let's see. Number 2, I might do conformity. So again, this is the hard keywords, right? So that's a keyword. That's a keyword. You can say people's a keyword, but I'll do get the keywords first, right? I'm going to say explore and how. That should be a keyword too, but I'm not worried about it right now. What does conformity look like? Why does it exist? And number 3, remember to give yourself permission to challenge the question. So we're going to challenge it. Some people refuse to conform. Okay, those are my 3 dot points. So let's make some sentence starters right now. So okay, so Miller and Kazan. This is an introduction. This is my body paragraph. I'll do a draft sentence starter for my topic sentences. So Miller and Kazan depict figures of authority who have the power to manipulate weaker people using fear. Okay, not the best one, but I'll keep it for now. Number 2, Miller. I'll use both texts. We'll vary it up. Both texts underpin how insular communities breed weak-minded followers who are in turn easily manipulated. Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. And number 3, despite the established hierarchies, there are individuals who rise up against the authorities. Again, I'm sleepy, so I can't think of a word properly. We'll leave for now. Against the authorities, and challenge the power structures. Challenge the power structures. All right. Okay. Is this the best one? No, but I'm doing this like half the time, so we'll make this work. Let's start introduction. Okay, so we need a fear quote. Let's flick to the quote. You don't say nothing. You don't hear nothing. What was the quote? All right, whatever. You don't hear nothing. You don't say nothing. You live longer that way. This isn't the quote. I'm combining different quotes. I'm making it for now. These lines are repeated. See, I kind of fix it around it in numerous ways throughout Elie Kazan's 1954 film On the Waterfront, highlighting the absolute fear, terror, and uncertainty that the longshoremen of Hoboken, New Jersey live under. Alright, that line. These lines are repeated in numerous ways throughout the Elie Kazan's 1954 film On the Waterfront, highlighting the absolute fear, terror, and uncertainty the longshoremen of Hoboken, New Jersey live under. Alongside Arthur Miller's 1953 play The Crucible, set in 19th century Salem, how does Massachusetts? There we go. Thank you all to correct Massachusetts. It's in during the hysterical witch hysterical witch trials. These texts explore the power structures and dynamics. Power structures, dynamics, beliefs, superstitions, and actions which lead to a small group of people dominating over the weaker majority. We're getting somewhere. This isn't great, but we're getting somewhere. I'll go one now, that's fine. Okay, we're going now to do this. Okay, superstitions and actions which lead to a small group of people dominating over the weaker majority. The construction of these texts, as well as the say clever. Clever's a weak word to use. As well as the use of dramatic devices in film. That's crap. The construction of these texts give the audience a clear contrast between these communities, but also provides the pathway for key individuals to rise against the controlling power, sending a strong yet differing message to how an individual can overcome their fears and inspire others to do the same. These contrasting messages reflect the historical context of the McCarthy's era. Yes, squeeze it in. McCarthy era, thank you. Alright, the McCarthy era. These contrasting messages reflect the historical messages in line with the opposing viewpoints and and actions of Kazan and Miller. Who in turn used their use these platforms to defend their actions in the face of interrogation by the House of Un-American Activities Commission. Is it House of a House? I believe it's House. Not say House of. House Un-American Activities Commission. Let me spell that. Alright. Alright. I don't know. Is this a good introduction? I don't know, right? I just smashed it out there. I'm half asleep. I think this sounds pro enough, but that's good enough for me. I'm so tired right now. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys, on this, in the feed right now. If it's like, give it a rating out of 10 on A+, I don't care. But is this something which you would rate highly? We'll find out very shortly. Let's do a quick check. What's happening? Nothing's happening. That's fun. Alright, not paying attention. Nope, no one's paying attention. That's fine too. Alright, let's start our body paragraph. Alright, Miller and Kazan depict figures of authority who have the power to manipulate. Does that even make sense anymore? Alright, Miller and Kazan depict figures of authority who have the power to manipulate weaker people using fear. That's a crappy topic sentence because basically fear is important. Alright, I need to revisit this. Alright, what is fear? How did fear shown? This is like a 3 out of 10 topic sentence. It's just basically fear is important. Let's reword this. Miller goes on to pick figures of authority who have the power to manipulate weaker people using fear. That is weak as. And the reason why it's weak is it doesn't give much. It gives me too much to talk about. I can't narrow it down. I've got time. I need to breathe over this. There are times where you have to think. You don't want to do nothing and freeze and then alt tab to your Spotify and listen to music. I'm not listening to music, by the way, so I'm just focused on this. But music will help, but I'm not gonna do it right now. What can I do here? Militants and figures of authority have the power to manipulate weaker people using fear. This is a weak topic sentence, and I know it. The second one is nice. I like the idea into communities. Bring weaker among followers and return them to be manipulated. I like this one. Maybe I'll flip it around. Oh, I could. All right, let's flip it around. This is what I call a pro gamer move. Where'd he go? Oi. Why's my keyboard not working all of a sudden? That's a bit of a glitch. My computer's lagging. Yeah, I'm computer lag. Nothing's working. Oh no! And this is why we have tech problems. Why? Well, what sorcery is this? This is witchcraft. I'm lagging so hard here. There we go. That eventually appeared. All right, that eventually appeared. Yeah, I like the top. I like this quote. But that's how you feel. I reckon half of you did this when you're doing your real exam. I just didn't see it. All right. That was weird. All right, I think I'll stop lagging now. Let's delete that. This is how you get like 1,000 words in your sack. All right, just copy the same thing over and over again. Okay. Both takes underpin how instant communities break weak-minded followers. You'll in turn ease manipulate. All right. All right. This sounds pretty good to me. All right. I'm gonna throw a comparison right away. Now, ideally, I would take the description of Salem from the players. I don't have to play it with me. I can't quote it. I should have done it on my cheat sheet, which I don't have. But I should have taken exactly how Arthur Miller describes Salem. So I'm missing a quote. It's going to be a weak one, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right. Miller chooses to set the crucible in Salem, described in the prologue as someone told me what the quote is. It's surrounded by forest or something. It's isolated. It's a remote village. But I can't remember the exact quote here. Described it as a remote and isolated town where few people get in and out. This is not the quote, but I don't have it with me, and that's what I want to highlight at some point if I mark this. This is a weakness which I have to acknowledge. I don't have the quote prepared for me. I need to know this sort of thing. So, do I have any quotes here? This is what I mean by this is the panic quote. And by the way, a lot of people, because you're panic quoting, you're basically copying and pasting things into your essay and just writing these examples because you don't have anything else. And I can tell because the examples suck. All right, I know it's kind of like, I don't have a quote, so I'm going to use this one over here, and people will copy this and make a paragraph, and it just sounds terrible. You got to be prepared. Is anything here which sounds good here? In my panic, I'm going to maybe use. This is terrible. This isn't because your quotes are bad. It's just because it doesn't really help you right now because these things don't. That does not. This is not a good quote. How does that quote help me? Shock, Rebecca's charge. No, this is not helping me. Learn from the mistakes, people. All right, people are going out. Whatever. All right. Well, Okay, well, Kazan depicts the docks of Hoboken. Docks of Hoboken. Alright. Alright. So let's do an actual comparison right away. So rather than similarly, I'm going to talk about the thing. Just as Salem's townspeople are unaware of the outside world, Hoboken is visually and physically separated from the wealthier, from the more affluent New York across the Hudson River. Kazan uses numerous framing devices and juxtaposition. Yep. To further emphasize the distinction between the easily manipulated longshoreman and controlling mob. The opening scene prominently displays the large luxury liner as a backdrop in a long shot, making the workers on the docks minuscule in comparison. The tenements in which the longshoremen live are shrouded in shadows, and its residents are depicted behind fences and cages. These visual devices are used by Kazan, throw the director's name every now and then, used by Kazan to convey how the longshoremen are trapped like pigeons. Many of whom have been working for many years. I need a quote from... Is that a quote? This is why your quotes are so important. You need quotes. There's a quote which talks about how long they've worked for. Let's see. So that's I'll use that later. I don't know nothing too quiet, no matter how much. No, this doesn't help me. I need quotes. So that's good. That's interesting. I like that. That's the one I want. Okay, thank you. Thank you, EB. You're a hero here. All right, I'll take that. Yoink. Let's take that. Doink. Comparative. I've been working for many years. Many like K. Dugan who have that's a crappy quote. All right. Let me fix the font there. We have worked for 30 years and poorer now than when they started. Aha! This is like you know, this is like what's a Master Chef? I'm trying to make the best essay from your scraps. Yeah, can I have worked for 30 years and now who are poorer now than when they started. The opening scene probably displays the large clients back from the long shot, making the workers conducted in this school in comparison. The tenements in which the longshoremen live are shrouded in the shadows, and its residents are depicted as being behind fences and cages. These visual devices are used by Kazam to convey how the longshoremen are trapped like pigeons. Many, like Terry Dugan, who have worked for 30 years and are poorer now than when they started. The longshoremen living in fear have adopted the culture. No, I need a better phrase. Have adopted the phrase deaf D&D, deaf and dumb, to deaf and dumb. Reflect to represent their primitive, basic survival needs. I need to quote. This is why cheats are so important. Could I have class? No, I want the you don't ask questions. I'll take that. Yeah, ask no questions. I'll just take that. Yoink. Is there something from Shui Zins that I can use? The same quote there. Don't know nothing, ain't seen nothing, not saying nothing. Alright. Don't see nothing. Don't say anything. By the way, Ibo, I'm checking the thing here. Yes, you should have topic sentences first. That's a good question there. Thanks for asking the question. Yeah, you should start topic sentences because you know they fill out later. Don't try to write start to finish. It's too stressful to write start to finish. You want to fill in the gaps, okay? So lay out the construction pieces first, like build the foundation of your topic sentences, and then write the paragraphs. What I'm doing right now is actually a smart move. All right, you don't have to write the whole thing in order. A lot of you write introduction first, then body paragraph, conclusion. Body paragraphs are king. Alright, that means the topic sentences are king. This is the way to write essays under pressure because I can always fill this out and finish it off in the time that I have, which I got like 40 minutes. This is actually pretty good timing. Okay, don't say nothing. Don't see nothing. Say anything. Sorry, I missed the quote there. What was the quote? I'm not saying. I don't see nothing. I don't know nothing. I ain't see. I'm not saying. What? I don't. I don't know nothing. And don't see anything. Don't see anything. Don't say nothing. All right. To represent the basic survival needs. Don't know nothing. Don't see anything. Don't say nothing. This cynical viewpoint is reinforced in the language of the longshoreman. No, this is not good. Let's just go back. The longshoremen living in fear have adopted the phrase D&D, deaf and dumb, to represent the basic survival needs. Don't know nothing, don't say anything, don't see anything, don't say nothing. Otherwise, they end up like Joey Doyle. Hugh, quote time. Who could sing but couldn't fly. of the consequences of breaking conformity. Alright, now I want to do a comparison with the Crucible. But again, I don't want to use the word similarly because I have to explain what the exact thing is. That's what my goal is, right? So I want to actually compare on why and how. The construction, yes, I've got the mise I've got lighting, I've got juxtaposition, so I've got that one there. Okay, I'm gonna be weak on Crucible construction, but I might try to do what I can. But you have to recognize there are weaknesses, alright? I'm not trying for an A plus here. I'm trying for a good essay, at least a good one, maybe a B plus. A is the kind of the stretch goal. Alright, but I know I have weaknesses, so I have to work with what I have. I'm missing some code, I'm missing some construction, I'm not that confident, but like with any game, any sport, you have to recognize you have a weak side and a strong side. I'm playing to my strong side, which is on the waterfront. The Crucible is not my strong side. So I'm gonna try and do what I can. So as long as you demonstrate some construction in your main text, remember you don't have to do 50-50. You can focus more on one and then make some connection to the other. But the connection must be a strong one. Most points are lost because the connection and the comparison is quite weak because you don't go beyond just similarly. So I want to talk about inter-community. That's my keyword there. I've already outlined what the settings are. Salem versus Hoboken. I've gone on a large talk about Hoboken. Now let's talk about the community of the Crucible. Similar to how the longshoremen have adopted a selfish attitude, a selfish, self-preserving attitude. What's wrong with this? No, fine. A cynical, selfish, self-preserving attitude. Pattern number 3 is almost nice. But I'm just doing a random chicken chat here. Alright, nothing so exciting. Alright, back to this. Just similar how the longshoremen have adopted a cynical, self-preserving attitude. The villages of Salem have erected walls of superstition. Alright. I want some quotes. Help me, cheat sheets. Alright, Crucible, single plea, first moment. Where's the theology one? Oh, come on, can't you be your religion? I'm gonna use this one, I like this one. Theology is a fortress. Where theology is a fortress. Armed with blind faith in religion, and constraints of strict Puritan traditions, the townspeople are overwhelmed by signs of the extraordinary. The girls dancing in the woods, enough to provoke hysteria among the people, with many crying, "Devil." This superstitious mindset is easily exploited. No, I'm not talking about that in another one. I'm going to look at people as dumb. Okay, avoid that. Okay, I need to talk about I've set myself up to talk about the weakness first. I didn't have to do it this way, but I've chosen to do it this way because I just went with it. Dancing with enough to produce hysteria among the people, with many crying devil. Quote time. Named mighty. This one died. EB, help me. Let's see. This make there's one. I don't want that. That's Abby. That's a good quote. I'll use this later. This permit now. What's be the founding part? And you can see where it's so hard that the quotes don't work. I need better quotes. Right, and this is why we had the worksheets before. We should have a quote bank or a quote database, but we definitely had the theme table. I'm gonna go back to that. This is desperate. Where is the theme table? The Crucible themes. All right, did we have? I need. Do not use me. Can I blink? It's my name. Some googly man. This is interesting. I might use the witching these children. The formula is going here. Name, fucking name. Oh, this is a good quote. I'll use for the fear part. Oh, this is not a good quote for that, huh? The power, we have power corruption here. This is the same quote over and over again. Confess yourself, private vengeance, spike, consistently no proof. Nope. The burn a hot fire. Alright, we're stuck here, people. We're stuck. This is not a good time here. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, we're lacking quotes. Careful. And how many? Like Teachable. Crying. How the devil is witching these children. Okay, big brain moment, big brain. Okay. While Kazan draws the line between construction time. Alright, draws a line between the poor longshoreman and the well of mob. Through setting and costumes. I should have talked about it more than above, but too late now. We got half an hour. Yeah. Okay. Because I'm draws between the poor longshoreman and the well of mob through setting and costumes. Miller portrays the difference in the social hierarchy through gender and language. The weaker characters speak in cruder vernacular, which means speech, like crude language, cruder vernacular, with teachable in particular using a broken, a pigeon form of English, which means it's like a broken English, to reflect the status as a black slave. In contrast to the educated language of law and religion used by Reverends Harris and Hell, picked by the authoritarian language of Deputy Governor. I'm missing quotes. This is why I really need quotes. Danforth. I need to rush this through. It's not working for me here. I'll put some of that in. We got to speak again. Preparation saves lives. I really need quotes here. Very funny, Tony. Man, this is killing me. Do we have a Governor Danforth quote? What I'm sure is in. Sorry, sure is. I'm watching something. He has this Lamb have a good cheat sheet. Oh, I need quotes. It's the same quotes. Evie, help me. Oh my god, I need actual quotes. The Danforth quote, but that's which company? Ipso facto. I like this one. This is a good quote. Oh dear, picked by the authoritarian language. Picked by the Israeli architecture. You can brazenly declare you fine. What the hell is ipso facto anyway? Google, help me here. Googly. What does ipso? What does that even mean? I get it. Okay, it means a very fact. What the heck? Picked by the you can brazenly the ipso facto. I don't know where I'm going with this. This is a terrible paragraph. Alright, let's define the ipso facto crime of witchcraft. I don't encourage this. Anyway, because that draws a line between the model setting, interprets difference in the social hierarchy. What the hell is a hierarchy? Through gender and language. So we characters speaking with vernacular. I don't have a teacher bar. Don't use a picture for military effective text data. We contrast the educated language of law used by various paragraphs in big notes. Yes. The visual devices used by Kazan these elements of these elements construction are used by Miller, and Kazan in their respective texts to make it clear to the audience that there is a difference between those who are manipulated and follow and conform versus those who have the power to coerce. Good enough. Alright. Miller Kazan depict figures of authority. Alright, so this flows to the next line, alright. Miller Kazan depict figures of authority who have the power to manipulate the weaker people you interfere. Miller Kazan depict figures of authority. This is a crappy sentence like before. So this is illustrate the heavy-handed authoritarian measures used by powerful characters. You can instill fear, and I should manipulate. You can instill fear and force the weaker masses to conform. Not the best, but good enough. Okay, illustrate the heavy-handed authoritarian measures used by powerful characters to instill fear and force the weaker masses to conform. Despite the fact that both the union mob and the theocratic leaders form the clear minority, they are able to, they said the control already? Not in this sentence, to control. Always elaborate on your topic sentences. Despite the fact that both the union mob and the theocratic leaders form the clear minority, they're able to control the majority. I don't have a quote here. Alright, fine. Let's talk about Waterfront this time. Alright. So, Kazan's the mob led by Johnny Friendly. This is why I ripped this out. I love the Water for this reason. The mob led by Johnny Friendly. The mob led by Johnny Friendly are represented as the who I represent in the Hawks, but what's the Hawk quote? Hawks, Waterfront. I like this one here. This is good. This is good. This is good. Okay, let's use that. All right, let's do it that way. All right, let's go. Let's go. Who's watching me at the moment? It's the U10s. That's cute. All right. Because by the way, save this video because you need it next year for English. Alright, because illustrate the heavy-handed authority measures of powerful characters can still fear and despite the fact that the new mob and theocratic leaders form the clear minority, they are able to control the majority. The mob, led by Johnny Friendly, are represented as the hawks that prey upon the pigeons below. What's the actual quote? The hang around the top of big hotels, who hang around on the top of big hotels. And prey upon the pigeons below. This metaphor construction is reinforced through the numerous depictions of hooks carried by longshoremen such as Terry, as a visual analogy, a visual, something like that, something which like a similarity, a visual, not a contrast, not a metaphor, not an analogy, as a visual reminder. Close enough, not the best. It's a visual reminder of a hawk's talons gripping its helpless victims. I like it. These hooks, one such display of the all-powerful, almighty, of the absolute power of the mob is shown through the execution of Terry's brother, Charlie. I know it's spelled different. It doesn't matter. I know who it is. Foe. All right. This is a little ghetto here. Of Terry's brother, Charlie. Who is left hanging on a hook. That's an example of a scene. A visual reminder. The terror that is instilled by the mob is the longshoremen are constantly reminded of the mob's power through the repeated use of crucifix symbols, particularly on the rooftops in the form of antennae, and ship masts on the docks. The audience, the viewer, is also reminded of this power structure through the use of low angle, goes up, right, low angle, high angle shots. I keep forgetting which is which. High angle shots are okay. Camera looks up, high angle shots, right, and low angle shots, camera looks down. Am I right here? Let's do a quick check here. What is, Google, help me here, Google, what is a high angle shot exactly? Alright, high angle shot, the camera is placed high and looks down. And a low angle shot, the camera is down low and looks up. That makes no sense to me, whatever. Okay, use of low angle shots. Low angle shots. Such as the execution of Joey, portraying the mob at the top of the building in the same visual metaphor as the hawks. Okay, good enough for me. 15 minutes. Okay, all right. Let's talk about Crucible. That's a huge part of authoritarian power on Waterfront, but so that's already a good one there. I didn't check too many quotes in, unfortunately, but that's a construction part there. I'm fine with that. Okay, let's talk about Crucible. I don't use the word similarly. It's so tempting to say the word similarly. You can't do that. You can't say similarly because you gotta explain why. No. How does okay? Who are the powerful people? All right, I need something to inspire me. Crucible quotes. Yes, Abigail, bitch. All right. The power of life and death of the mob is echoed in the character of Abigail. Here we go. The character, we do a Johnny Free Abigail, but talk about multiple things here. The character of Abigail in the Crucible. She too, remember, you can't put similarly. She too can threaten the girls with a pointy reckoning should they confess to their actions. Should they threaten the girls with a pointy reckoning should they confess to their actions. A threat that is manifested in her act when Mary Warren attempts to speak the truth. That's a crappy. Can I not just quote that? Speak the truth about how they were pretending. That's not the 10 out of 10 call one, but it's good enough. Attempts to speak the truth about how they were pretending. A threat that is manifested when Mary Warren attempts to speak the truth about how they were pretending. What's going on here? Nothing strange here. This is a funny stream, by the way. I love this. This is cute. What was I? How they were attending. You can turn the girls upon direction should take officially the actions. A threat that would menace Mary Warren attempt to speak when the truth about how they're pretending. Other characters in power also display and boast their control over life. For Danforth, quote, EB, don't care about that one. There are Danforth quotes. Oh no, I don't have a good Danforth quote. He signs different. What's the quote where he has to sign away debts? I'll use that one there. I think you both have the postponement. Reprieve now. Part of gonna build them. No, that. I will use this quote. Thank you, Lamb. I'll take this. I will not receive a single plea or pardon for postponement. Them that will not confess will hang. I like that quote. I'm just gonna copy and paste that. For Danforth, he literally signs the death warrants and will, quote, and will not receive a single plea for pardon or postponement, then the knockers will hang. Aha! Aha! Therefore, he literally signs death warrants. I know how to end this paragraph. I've got about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I'm gonna give some extra time here. Crap, I've done it. What? Oh no! Oh no! I don't have like this. This is not. I'm stuck. All right. Other characters in power also display ability to power control life over life. Therefore, he literally signed the death warrant and will not receive a single plea of pardon or postponement. Then the McFist will hang. In both texts. Okay. I need to link it back to the topic here. Topic sentence. Millikan is explain how fear causes people to conform. Discuss. Explore how fear causes people to conform. Discuss. Alright. This is absolute control. Is what is used by the antagonists of both text to instill fear in their respective communities. I can't spell. Oh no! In their respective communities to manipulate and control the weak-willed and weak-minded. Despite the established hierarchies, there are individuals who rise up against the authorities and challenge the power structures. This is clearly highlighted by the actions of the protagonists. Terry Malloy and John Proctor. Alright, this is it. With urging by the rebellious and pure Edie, who strives to what's the Edie quote? Who find out who killed Joey, and driven by her compassionate philosophy of everyone should care about everyone else. And supported by the strong actions of Father Barry, who went from a saint hiding in a church to a chain to a smoking badass priest, to a smoking preacher who calls the longshoremen to action against the crucifixion. This is a hell of a sentence. With urgent by the rebellious Edie, who's right to find out, and driven by passionate to putting it against the crucifixion. I thought you spelled crucifixion. Yeah, that crucifixion of Dugan. Terry hurls his hook against Friendly's door and boldly proclaims that he is standing over here now. Standing over here now. This is not the actual quote, but it's good, right? Standing and boldly declares that he has done the right thing from where he is standing. Okay, all right, we'll make it. All right, Father Barry. All right, we now need a crisp comparison. Likewise, John Proctor undergoes his own redemption arc. Recognizing, admitting to his flaws as a lecturer, and throwing away his good name, to refusing to testify for Danthorpe, ripping up his confession, demanding that he is, what's his name? My name. What's the quote? What's the actual quote? What is my name? Don't lie. Black in your name. Why do you not have to quote it? This is not the most important quote. The whole thing. Give me my name. Why do you not have that quote? You're letting me down, people. You will not use me. I'll take that. Speak English, that kind of deals with. Have honest. That's not helping me right now. You will not use me. Declaring to Danforth that you will not use me. That he give him. You will not use me. Keep his name. That's good enough. Alright. Whatever. Alright. Declare to Danforth that you will not use me and that he keep his name. Keep his name. Because he will not have another in his life. Okay. Alongside supporting characters, many other martyrs, such as Joey, Dugan, and Giles Corey, these main characters represent how individuals can overcome their moral dilemmas. They can overcome the moral dilemmas and overthrow the power, overthrow the controlling power. In the case of Proctor, while he fails to prevent the hangings and his own, he succeeds in attaining a moral victory. In Terry's case, he successfully overthrows Johnny Friendly and leads the Longshoremen to rebuild the Union and bring it on the up and up. Alright, that's a fast quote. Alright, final. 5 minute conclusion. Let's go. Okay. In examining the messages intended by Miller and Kazan, we must look at how these texts end. All right, this is not the best conclusion. It's good enough, right? Nick Clint. We kind of naturally reached the end. We kind of talked about it already. What is the question? Form and conformity. Can summary conclude this. All right. Fear causes people to conform. How fear causes people to conform. No, all right. In conclusion, this is crap. Don't ever do this, but I'm doing it. In conclusion, Kazan and Miller don't summarize the conclusion. The conclusion is not a summary; it's a conclusion. There's a difference. In conclusion, Kazan and Miller depict how a small group of people can rise to power. And hold a firm grip over over the majority. This is weak. This is weak. In conclusion, Kazan Miller picked how a small group of people can rise to power and hold a firm grip over the majority. The hell is that conclusion? That is weak. That is really, really weak. What is my message here? Alright, explore how fear... Okay, let's hack, right? So what was it? Discipline destruction, the military form, but those can force, control, and control of fear. I'm doing the same thing. But they also convey through the actions of the protagonist how individuals can break out of their insular mindsets and overthrow and break free, break out the insular and break free of their cages. I love that. Okay, break free of their cages. Despite this, the text show conflicting, and ambiguous conclusions to their heroes' journeys. I'm talking about endings now. Proctor, despite keeping his good name, goes on to be hanged, while Terry leads the longshoreman into the warehouse, with the ending scene being the shutter door closing behind them, implying perhaps that they too are trapped and without the happy ending that Terry might have desired. These endings and their morals reflect the attitudes held by Kazan and Miller towards their actions, impressed and trialed by Huak and McCarthyism. Each in defense of the justification or the futility of the individual actions. Two minutes. In conclusion, it defends the justification actions. I need one more note on what the morality is. It's what I fix on the form. Despite, I know that while, despite something, how fickle people can form. Despite how fickle people can form. Discuss, fickle form. First major statement on how individuals can choose to conform or rebel. With their protagonist With the protagonists of Terry and John Proctor acting as avatars. Acting as avatars in the semi-fictional but analogous. No, in the analogous communities of 1950s Hoboken and 19th century Salem. Okay, I'm finished, done. Okay, that's serious things. I'm done. Submit. Okay, that's the best I can do. All right, how do we go here? Now, you can read this yourself. You can judge, and you can tell me how it went in next lesson. But I'm gonna do a quick word count. What did I do here? This is holy crap. Okay, that's good as it gets. Okay, all right. I've run out of time. I started like a half an hour late. All right, so I probably gave myself less time, but I smashed out an essay using your quotes, your cheat sheets, which I'll say, Ivy, yours is better. I like yours. That was more helpful to me. But holy crap, you need to be prepared. Do you see how much time I wasted on cheat sheets and finding quotes? Learn from the mistakes here, people. Holy crap, that was fun. All right, we'll leave it here, guys. It's 306. Hope you found it interesting and helpful. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this. And see you all next time. All right, we'll talk about this next class. Stay safe. And holy crap. Yeah, let's not do it again anytime soon. Until next week. All right. This is your problem, not mine. Enjoy.